What's up, guys? On the NFL. Crappy New Year and Merry Christmas and all that good stuff. But I did say Crappy New Year. We've been off for, I think it's like 2 weeks since we've done a video.
I think so.
Maybe.
We missed last week because I think last week was between Christmas and holiday plans and what have you.
Yeah, I think we
the games were so spread out for the last couple of weeks. It's just been hard to keep track of.
Yeah, I did watch some of the Chiefs game on Netflix, and I think it's good for anyone that is trying to get into the NFL. If you don't have all the apps like we do, stream it and stuff like that, it's a good way for the NFL to reach out to other countries like over here and places that the NFL isn't big. What do you think?
Yeah, I kind of would agree with that.
I didn't personally see any difference in the quality. It would be better if they streamed all of their games on there so we don't have to pay for DAZN, Sky Sports, and then still not be able to watch the games. And Sky Sports, Jesus Christ. What is it? Sky Now TV. That fucking Sky Sports shit is so difficult to navigate. Confuse the crap out of you. It's like, why is it saying it's only going to be on at 11 o'clock? And then you said, no, it's not. You go, you had to screen record it and show me it, but fucking stupid.
Yeah, so it was ridiculous.
We have a week of records this week, yeah?
Yes and no.
Did you see the Saquon Barkley thing?
Just before.
Yeah, same. Saquon Barkley won't be playing on Sunday against the Giants to save him getting any injuries. He will be in the playoffs, though, which makes sense. It's about team rather than personal goals.
Yeah, and he has said, he did say in an interview after week 17, like, he's good whatever they decide to do.
Yeah, I don't think he's actually that bothered whether he gets the... Well, obviously, it's a personal record. He would like to get it, but I don't think it would actually make that much difference to him.
Well, look at it. I mean, like, he's the 9th person in history of the NFL to get over 2,000 yards in a season rushing.
Yeah.
That's going to be with you your career, you know?
Yeah.
Possibly longer.
Yeah. Why is it being... Can you still hear me? I'm really, like, jerky.
It's your video.
Hang on. One moment. There was a thing, like my camera's just started offering to do new things, and I turned it on. It's supposed to, like, clean up the picture. I think it just fucked up the picture, to be quite honest with you. Stupid fucking thing. So Saquon won't play. Also, Patrick Mahomes isn't going to be playing, and Chris Jones won't be playing. Obviously, they're going to save them for the playoffs as well.
There's going to be more Eagles that are going to be resting. I saw Nick Sirianni done a press thing, and he said,
"Yeah, I watched some of that.
You know, they're going to rest a few of them. They can't rest everybody because they'll put the backups in that, but you're going to need some as backups just in case."
Yeah. So if I'm right, the Broncos will make the playoffs if they win the game.
I think they do. I was looking at it earlier. There's only 2 playoff spots left. One will be between the Bucks and Falcons. The other one is Broncos, 99% if they win. So as long as they win, they're in.
Who are they playing against this week?
Who have they got this week?
Let me see. I've got it here.
They got KC.
Broncos. Oh, yeah. So
they're not winning.
No. Maybe. I don't know, because Carson Wentz is still a good QB anyway.
Yeah, but the refs have missed loads of calls against the Chiefs this season. Loads of calls.
It does seem that way. And I don't actually think it is just the Chiefs. I think we're all just riding on that. They're getting the dirty calls because they're on for the 3-peat. Seen a few.
There's been a lot of calls missed, but for other teams, there's been loads. I think part of the problem is they focus too much on trying to stamp out the hip drop tackles. So they've been looking at the tackles themselves as opposed to things like holding and stuff.
Yeah.
So unless it's completely obvious, loads of it's being missed. There's been loads of face mask calls missed this year.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there was one, I can't remember what game it was. I think it was Ravens or Texans. They had the guy's face mask while he's trying to run away and like pulling his head back and shit.
I've seen loads of those. Not just it's like I don't know whether it's more obvious this year, where they're focusing more on the tackles and stuff like that, but it does seem to be that there's a lot more face mask pulls in general. So we're gonna, if we run down the playoff picture so far, AFC Chiefs, they're 15-1, Bills 13-3, Ravens 11-5, Texans 9-7, Steelers 10-6, Chargers 10-6.
Yeah, I will say the Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, and Texans are all guaranteed because they've all won their divisions. And then obviously the next best two is the Steelers and Chargers. To be fair, I think the Steelers and Chargers are both their spots in it this year.
100%. Steelers and Chargers have both played really friggin' well.
Especially the Chargers. They weren't much of a thought at the start of the season. Or
no, we didn't. We didn't give the Chargers the time of day at the beginning when we were doing our fucking playoff picture that we done in week 1. I think it was pre-season we done that. They weren't even on the list. Bengals were on the list, and they're not even a thought in it at the moment, are they?
Their class is on the bubble. On the NFL website. And I think that's because if the Broncos lose, the Dolphins and Bengals have a chance. I think the Bengals might if the Broncos lose, because that would put them at the same records, 9-8.
Yeah.
And I can't remember. Let's have a look. I can't remember who then would win that. Do you know what I mean? Out of them two.
No, I don't. I don't think I know, to be honest.
I can't remember if it goes on like points or something, and I don't know who's got the most points on the season.
No, I don't. I have not looked at that, to be honest. On the NFC side, we got Lions 14-2, Eagles 13-3, Rams 10-6, Vikings 10-6, Commanders 11-5, Packers 11-5. That Packers game against the Vikings, they fucked us.
I will say the Vikings are 14-2.
Are they 14-2?
Vikings are 14-2.
Are you sure?
100%. I'm looking at it now.
I got this off the NFL website. I'm sure I did. I obviously didn't. Okay, yeah. So Vikings are 14-2
because they are currently they play this week. The last season game for them, both teams, is against each other, for the Lions and the Vikings, and they are tied for first place. So whoever wins that game wins the 1 seed.
I was looking at the playoff picture earlier. I might not have refreshed it. I do that fucking regularly. Never mind. That Packers game, that was a hard fucking game. That was a real hard fucking game. That made me cry a little bit inside.
They did look like they were pulling it around a bit for a while, though.
Mm-hmm. It did look like we were going to win. It wasn't until the last quarter, they were 2 points ahead of us. It was just not going anywhere.
I was going to say, they're literally 25-27. It was a tight game.
It was a real tight game. But we're not getting into games this week because we're just trying to get back into the swing of it and get some fucking videos out there. Did you do your top 5 receivers?
Yeah, I've done my top 5 players.
That's cool.
I didn't do a top 5 receivers as such, mainly because I've got a few. I don't know if I've got 5, but I've got a few that I've been kind of watching a little bit this season. Quickly
run through my top 5 receivers then. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's got 109 receptions for 1,186 yards. Justin Jefferson, 100 yards, 100 receptions, 1,479 yards. Puka Nacua, just because I think the guy's a fucking animal for his age. He's 23 years old. He's got 79 receptions for 990 yards. He's got quite a few less than everyone else, but in yardage, he's not far behind Amon-Ra St. Brown. Jamar Chase, just because it's Jamar Chase, he's got 117 receptions for 1,612 yards. Devontae Adams, because I think he is
a good receiver.
He's a good receiver. This season, he has not played, well, the last few seasons, he's not played amazing. He's had 61 receptions for 766 yards, which if you look at it in how many receptions he's got and look at his average yardage, it isn't too bad.
Yeah.
But that's just the 5 receivers that I chose for my top 5 receiver list. I'd probably, if I could make my own team, I'd probably have all 5 of them. I'd have 5 receivers. But yeah, do you want to go for your top NFL players and then I'll do mine?
Well, I think first, in terms of receivers, I think some of the, I mean, you usually basing it on wide receivers or tight ends and
tight
that's all
ends
included.
Yeah,
I mean,
in my top 5 receivers, I didn't put tight ends in there, but my top NFL players, I've got some.
well, I mean, if you're looking at the receivers,
yes,
in
tight
general,
ends, wide receivers, running backs,
then
anyone.
I think how can you not look at Brock Bowers,
George Kittle?
I mean, he's come in, he's tight end rookie year, has become one of the top guys on any team, let alone. I mean, who is it he plays for? Raiders, I think. Which
yes,
is insane to get the numbers he's got. So Brock Bowers, 108 receptions for 1,144 yards.
8 receptions.
108.
Oh, I thought you said 8 for a second. I was like, how the fuck did he get that many?
108 receptions on the Raiders.
That is good. Being on the Raiders as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can't knock him as a receiver. No. And, I mean, if you go in top 5, I think you got to include people like Jamar Chase, who's just ridiculous. Justin Jefferson's always a good one to throw in there.
Yeah.
AJ Brown.
Hey, the Packers have got some really good receivers this.
I was going to say
this year.
You know,
but this was just my all-time favorite receivers throughout the season. Trying not to put just all Packers players in there.
I mean, that'd be easy to do, wouldn't it? Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, if I was just like I was completely biased, I would have just put all Packers receivers, tight ends. But I was trying to look outside the Packers, and but that was it. But then on my top players throughout the NFL, all positions, I've got Packers. I've got 2 Packers, an Eagles player.
Run through your list. Who you got?
I got Jair Alexander, Malik Willis, and I picked him because I think he's done fucking outstanding. Considering he come over,
backup, isn't he,
Yeah, he came from I think it was the Titans, and they didn't really play him. He was playing really shit, and now you could take Jordan Love out of the picture completely, and we're still winning games with him.
Yeah.
So when the first game, when the Eagles took Jordan Love out of the picture and we had to put him in, we were still not necessarily winning games, but we were dominating games.
Well, I think that first one where we took him out and you put him in, I don't think that's a fair one to compare for Malik Willis because it was his first, but team start
considering
with the team.
Everything that followed him from all of his reputation that he was shit, he was going to fuck up, but he performed fucking outstanding.
I think the games after are where he really shone the most.
Yeah, and I personally have no worry if Jordan Love was out now and we put Malik Willis in throughout the playoffs. We might not make it as far, or I think personally, I don't know what's going on with Jordan Love, but he seems to be, he got a sack on the weekend. He got sacked on the weekend and we had a couple of interceptions thrown by him. I would be quite happy to take Jordan Love out now and put Malik Willis in for the playoffs. I think he's still got niggling injuries that he's just still trying to play through. But what do I know? I'm not Matt LaFleur. So then I have Saquon Barkley because he's an animal.
You can't knock what he's done.
No. George Kittle and TJ Watt. They're my top NFL players for this year for me. They personally...
Is TJ Watt back in the game?
I'm not sure if he's back in the game.
He got taken out, didn't he, the other week for an injury?
Yeah, I just like TJ Watt because he's another...
He's ridiculous.
He's a savage beast. He's
see that video of him? I can't remember if it was this season or last season. He goes through for a tackle so fast, they grabbed his helmet, pulled his helmet off him, and he just carries on and gets the sack.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah, I've seen that.
It's insane.
Fuck's sake. Every time I've got headphones on or in, my throat starts going all funky. I don't know whether it's my brain telling me to fucking not talk when I've got shit in my ears. It's weird. Hey, what's your top 5 or your top NFL players? Did I say I had? No, I didn't put. I toyed with putting Jalen Hurts on there, but then it was like Jalen Hurts, Malik Willis. Jalen Hurts is a well-established QB now. Malik Willis is making a name for himself.
So I was going to put Jalen on my top 5, but I didn't, just because I didn't want it to be all Eagles. But I think one thing that annoys me about Jalen Hurts is he started in the last 4 years. Him and Sirianni both get shit for being bad QBs and bad coaches and all this sort of shit.
Yeah.
The last 4 years, they've made it to the playoffs every year.
Exactly. Even
22, they made the Super Bowl.
They even made it to the playoffs last year, and they had the season was
a
just
complete collapse at the end of the season.
So they're not that bad.
But the only time you can take Jalen out of a game is to actually injure him. Like, he's out with concussion. That's the only thing he gets taken out with, his injuries.
It makes sense to play Carson. No, who's your? Oh, you've got two.
Kenny Pickett.
Is Kenny Pickett playing? Because he's got his ribs or broken ribs.
I don't know if. Well, it's not been confirmed what his injury is. It's been said that he's got broken ribs. I mean, he got taken out of the game in the, I want to say, third quarter, about halfway through third quarter, something like that. And we had Tanner McKeon, which I think's got one of the funniest nicknames ever, the Mormon Missile.
Mate, he played so fucking well for a QB3.
He made 4 out of 5 passes for 54 yards.
That's really good. How many touchdowns did he get? Was it just one?
2.
Yeah, it was 2. Considering that's his first NFL game as well.
Yeah, he's played a bit of regular season stuff, but that's usually as much as he gets because he's the third string QB.
Yeah, exactly.
So to have come in, and one of his incompletions, his only incompletion is literally because AJ couldn't get his foot into the end zone.
There we go.
So he actually made a one-handed catch, caught it, and didn't get his foot in. That's the only reason it's an incompletion.
I seen that one circling around. That was so hard to see. They had to look at it from a few different angles to see whether his foot was in. Yeah, I seen that one. Yeah, that would have been an Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh yeah, they've been talking about that one for ages.
Yeah, definitely. That still should be spoken about because still a one-handed catch in or out doesn't make any difference. It's still a good catch.
The man's just an absolute beast. So I don't know who's going to play because Kenny did come back to the sidelines in uniform. He may play. I think it all depends whether it was actually fractured or full broke ribs. He may play, he may not. Because Jalen hasn't been taken out of concussion protocol yet, so it's looking like he's going to be out for this week as well.
I would keep him on concussion protocol just to be on the safe side if I was Nick Sirianni.
Well, I mean, even if you take him out, you can rest him if you want, can't you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't have to play him. There's
a lot of them are getting rested.
Anyway.
Yeah.
They're in the playoffs anyway, so I would keep him out just to save him.
But I mean, I think he's still a fantastic QB. But I mean, I did put 2 QBs on my list. Joe Burrow, who's just been ridiculous this season.
He's up for 5,000 passing yards this week.
Yeah, I think I did make note of it. He's, where is it? Sure, it's like 300. Yeah, he's at 4,641 yards for the season.
Do you reckon he'll make that? Him this
like 69 yards, I think he needs to throw.
Oh, I hope he can make it this week.
So there's a chance.
That would be good.
Let's have a look who they're playing.
I think it's good for any player. I think they should be allowed to get their.
I mean, they got the Steelers. It's possible.
They should get it.
I've also got Josh Allen.
Josh Allen is an absolute beast.
You could say whatever you want. That guy's been playing fantastic this year.
If any QB if it's only QBs that get the MVP of the season, I think Josh Allen should get it.
Josh Allen 100% should have it.
Over Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson he's a great quarterback, but he can't win MVP every year.
He's fantastic QB.
Outside the usual people.
But also, if you look at it week by week, who is the QB everybody's talking about?
Josh Allen.
Last month and a half at least, it's Josh Allen's the only one that's been making the rounds on any kind of media. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, him and Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't give it to Sam Darnold.
I think Sam Darnold's done a great job. I don't know if he's had an MVP year.
No, I don't.
Because the Vikings have some insane players. But I mean, do you look at what Josh Allen's done with the amount of injuries to receivers that the Bills have had?
Yeah,
and he just keeps putting it in the end zone.
It's because the guy is built different.
Literally, who they got? They got the Patriots this week.
Easy peasy.
So that's going to be a blowout for them.
Yeah, 100%. Who else you got on your
my final one was I put Brock Bowers on.
Yeah, you've spoken about Brock Bowers.
I think it's important to make note of some rookies that are just doing incredible things. I think he could have a fantastic career.
Yeah, definitely.
Whether it's with the Raiders, I don't know. But I think whatever team he's on, he's going to play his heart out.
He got drafted by the Raiders this year, didn't he?
Yeah.
I'm just looking at his stats. So he's got 1,144 yards and 4 touchdowns in his career, in his one-season career.
Yeah.
That is next level. You're looking at a seasoned receiver to have yardage like that, I personally think.
If you were doing that just by receiving numbers...
He's had more receiving yards than Devontae Adams this year. Yeah. Yeah, and that's it.
I think even if you do it just by receiving numbers, he's a tight end getting wide receiver numbers.
And he's up there with Amon-Ra St. Brown and Puka Nacua as well. And they're wide receivers. He is a tight end, rookie tight end as well. He's not even done. It's not even a full season yet.
Yeah, and he's on the Raiders, one of the bottom teams. They've won 4 games.
Yeah, they've not won many.
So, it's not even like there's some star-studded team that are just carrying them, or it's just one player carrying them, or they're not winning loads of games. And he's still putting up ridiculous numbers as a rookie tight end.
You can't really ask for much more.
No.
He should be rookie of the year, maybe.
I think there's definitely a high argument for it.
Yeah, there's a fair few decent rookies this year. So Aaron Rodgers, New York Jets. Did you hear that they may be benching him?
I mean, at this point, how has he not been already?
I'm pretty sure he's been benched for the rest of the season. Jets are 4-12. And they brought him in with hopes, dreams, and unicorn fucking piss, thinking that he was going to shine a light on the Jets, help them out. He fucking snapped his Achilles last year, and he's come back this season and done absolutely jack shit for them.
I seen a thing the other day that they reckon he's set the Jets back about 5 years because he used loads of their trade capital and stuff, getting all his friends over from Green Bay and stuff.
Yeah. And Green Bay Jets.
Devontae Adams and all the others that they've had come over, all his favourite players, and they're still a shit team this year.
He has loaded that team with decent players, not amazing players, decent players, and they're still not performing. They're underperforming. He benched himself in their last game. I can't remember what the score was. It was a washout though, wasn't it? It was Jets were something and 0, 40-0, something stupid like that.
14-40.
He benched himself before that last touchdown and they put in their QB2, and I think he may have scored them fucking 2 touchdowns. I'm not even 100% sure that Aaron Rodgers done it.
Well, I believe one of them came in the fourth quarter, one of their 2. I mean, by half time they were 30-0 down or something.
Yeah,
it was insane.
He benched himself. I seen an interview, and he was just basically like, "Yeah, I didn't want to play anymore."
I mean, some of these teams, that are a bad offense usually have a good defense to counteract, and that's what slows other teams down. I mean, you look at the Seahawks and Chicago Bears game. That was 6-3. Neither of them had a good offense, but clearly they both had a semi-decent defense.
Yeah.
The Jets, you can't even really say that.
They've got one, maybe two decent defensive players.
They got a couple, but I mean, they got blown 14-40.
They need to
do something.
They're high. They're going to be high in the draft list of the draft pick list, so they need to think about it and actually draft some prospects.
I think what they need to do is not just look at whoever's highest on the list, not who's top prospect. Look at what they actually need, and if they don't have enough draft picks, maybe trade away the first and get a couple lower down ones for your first pick. Yeah, get more capital, get more players in.
They need a quarterback, because Aaron Rodgers is not going to be. He's not going to play well next season.
I think their biggest problem, though, is they need too many positions.
Yeah, they need a quarterback. They need some O-line. They need some fucking D-line. They are okay for cornerback. They've got Sauce Gardner, but he can't run the fucking...
Yeah, but he can't cover the whole field.
That's exactly what I was just about to say.
They need safeties as well, because their passing game clearly shit.
Yeah. They need... I don't want to say it because I put him on my list, but Davante Adams is no good in a shit team.
I think the problem with the Davante Adams, Aaron Rodgers system is, I think Aaron Rodgers mainly wants to focus on passing to Davante Adams, which is all well and good if you've got a good O-line that can protect while he gets open. If you don't, you're just going to get rolled over, and that's what keeps happening.
But while we are on Aaron Rodgers, 500 touchdowns, that's...
Yeah, I saw that. If he's benched himself, he's not getting that.
No, I don't know.
Or even if he's being benched.
I don't know if he's definitely being benched or whether he's benched himself. But
what have they got this week?
He must be close to at least 200.
Jets have got the Dolphins, so there's possibility he plays and gets that touchdown. I think he just literally needs his 500th. I think that's where he's currently sat.
Oh, really? 499. So he might get that one touchdown and then bench himself.
Let's have a look. Aaron Rodgers. This shit show's done this year. Probably nothing. Where are we at?
I say, like, I slate Aaron Rodgers. Like, I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan, or was an Aaron Rodgers fan, being that that's Aaron Rodgers there. And then I've got a massive pop head of Aaron Rodgers up there. Both my jerseys are Aaron Rodgers. My T-shirt's Aaron Rodgers. What's he at?
I'm trying to work it out. It's looking... He's in the 490s. So passing... Where are we? Touchdowns. 499. So he literally needs one more.
I would say he's going to throw that one touchdown and get himself out of there.
I mean, 500. How many players have got 500? Do you know what I mean? If you've not got a shot at playoffs, why not go for that 500?
Why not? Yeah, you're not going to make the playoffs anyway.
So it's not like you're trying to save yourself from injury or anything like that. It's the last game of the season. You're not making the playoffs. Why not go and get that 500?
Yeah. I've thrown 0 touchdown passes in my entire life. So moving on, I've only got 2 things. Cowboys release Ezekiel Elliott. What do you think?
I saw that.
I've seen.
I honestly thought they were going to release him last year.
I don't know how far into his career he is. He's been
playing since I think 2017.
Yeah, so he's 8 years. He's played 8 years for Dallas, 1 year for New England. He's got 9,130 yards and 74 touchdowns. And he plays well. He plays really well.
He does, but his biggest problem is he's not consistent.
Yeah, I was looking at his stats. He's got like a year where he does 1,000 yards and a few touchdowns, a year where he does absolutely like 600 or 700 yards and a couple of touchdowns.
Not only that, he's in his 30s, I want to say now.
Yeah, I think he's 32, 33.
Something like that. He's also not that fast. He's not like he's one of the fastest running backs on the market or anything like that. I mean, Saquon was never slated as one of the fastest running backs, but he's a skillful player. I don't think Ezekiel Elliott's a skillful player as such. I think he's more like Derrick Henry, just going to run through you.
That is every clip I've seen of him. He's just mowing through people. I think a team that needs a good physical running back might take him.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem with him and the Cowboys as well is they don't like to run the ball too much.
Yeah, the Cowboys don't.
You look at their stats and stuff, they don't run the ball a great deal. If they have to, if they can't get the passing game going, they try. But it just doesn't seem to do much for them.
Well, I mean, good luck to him. It is a funky time to be released from a contract just before playoffs start. Who's going to want to add?
Well, from what I've seen of it, it was a mutual thing. They both agreed to it. He's asked for it. They've agreed to it. And I think they've agreed to it now so that he has a chance to possibly go to a team that needs running back, that's looking for playoff potential.
Yeah. Let's circle back. Chiefs don't...
Well, the Chiefs have let Clyde Edward-Helaire go.
And they may take him, but they're not taking players that aren't elite players already, are they? Lions,
which I think he could be in the right system.
Yeah, if you've been with a team that's not the right team, we've said this before, you're not going to play. You're not going to get your best game if you're playing a team that can't play the best game.
If you couple of big players to name for that is Saquon, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, all running backs, all went to different teams and are all doing fantastic for them themselves this season.
100%. Yeah. So if the Chiefs, I would say Chiefs, Bills, Texans, Chargers, maybe
the Rams.
I was just going to say the Rams. Lions don't need him. Eagles don't need him. Vikings don't need him. Packers don't need him. Ravens don't. Commanders maybe.
Steelers maybe. I don't know how Najee Harris is doing.
No, I don't.
But I know he's their big run guy, but I don't know what their backups are like.
No, I mean he could always end up being a backup. But
that's the thing.
I would say the Chiefs could do with a running back, a decent running back, because who is their running back?
At the moment, I don't know. They've flickered between their running backs so much this year.
I was just
Pacheco went out and
let so many. All I get on news feeds on Chiefs, they've let go this person, brought this person, then they've let this person go and brought this person in, but then they've let go of them two people and brought two new people in. I can't keep up with it. They're trying to build that.
They've been getting so many injuries.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at that active roster then by position. So the running backs they're listing as their three. They're saying Isaiah Pacheco's back. Well, they're listing Kareem Hunt, Isaiah Pacheco's, and Samaje Perine. But Samaje Perine and Kareem Hunt, I don't know much about either of them.
No.
If I'm honest. And I've heard of Kareem Hunt a few times.
Yeah, I've heard of him a few times.
I think he's been their go-to lately.
Yeah.
I mean, if Isaiah Pacheco's healthy, he's a beast.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he is healthy.
No, I don't, to be fair. We need the boys from New Heights to join in our podcast and do a little chat with us and let us know.
Yeah, I'll
tag them when I post this, don't worry. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Ezekiel Elliott is I don't know if he's a tier 1 running back, but he certainly would make a fantastic number 2.
Yeah.
You know, third down, injury happens or something like that, you could throw him in there.
Yeah. 100%.
And I think he will just do what he does and just run through people.
So, moving on, Deshaun Watson, contract restructure. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, they're trying to free up some money.
Yeah, so
they're paying him stupid money.
$92 million will be spread out. If he stays in for on the team for 2026, they're going to restructure it and spread out his money over a number of years, is all they've said now. Because they can't release him. He's guaranteed a big chunk of the $92 million End of this
For
season,
himself, he worked that into a fantastic contract for himself.
Oh, 100%.
For the club, they should not have signed that.
No. So if he's still with them in the 2026 season, they're just going to spread his money out to try and free up some cap space because they are well over the cap at 92 million.
Yeah. I think the point is, I think the way they're saying it sounds like they're going to try and trade him.
Yeah, it does sound that way.
If they can't, I think what they're going to do is take his guaranteed money and say, look, we'll pay it to you this much over, say, 7 or 8 years or something.
Yeah.
So that they can drop that number per year.
Yeah. That is all I had on that. But you've got more records for this week as well, haven't you?
Well, I think the other one, 3 of them we've already talked about, which was Saquon, Aaron Rodgers, and what was the other one?
Joe Burrow, 5,000 passing yards.
The other one I've got, which I think is very possible, Mike Evans of the Buccaneers getting his 11th 1,000-yard season.
Easy. He is a fucking tank.
Where are we?
Whenever I see his name anywhere, I just want to go, instead of Mike Evans, do you remember Mike Jones?
Yeah. So look, where is he? I think he's over 900. Pretty sure.
I need to get my hair cut. My mullet is the back's not catching up with the top, so I need to get the top cut. That's why I've been wearing hats more.
15.
And he needs to get 1,100.
No, he just needs to get 1,000.
He's definitely going to get that. I'd be shocked if he didn't.
Yeah. But that means he's got to get 85 yards.
What, is he running back?
No, he's a wide receiver.
Oh, I'm getting him mixed up with someone. Yeah, he's definitely going to get that. It's not.
As long as they don't target him to stop him getting it.
That was the reason that a lot of people say they should bench Saquon, because they're going to target to stop him getting that record.
Yeah, I mean, we're playing the Giants, so it's his former team. They definitely don't want him breaking that record.
Yeah,
they are well out of the playoffs, have been for weeks, so there's nothing for them to lose.
Yeah,
they would just load that box up, stop him running.
I think he'll get it. He is an animal. He is fast. He's physical. He's just a beast.
Yeah. I think it's impressive that he had 3 or 4 weeks out and is still going to get 1,000 yards.
I think we spoke about him a couple of weeks ago, that he's got as many yards as he has from being out, even though he was out for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, you can't necessarily put him with people like Justin Jefferson and stuff like that for a period. He may not have had their start to a career. He may not have had this 14, 15, 1,600 yard season or whatever. You can't argue with the man's results.
100%.
He is consistent. He is always there. He's always available.
Oh, what the fuck?
Disappeared.
Yeah,
you can't argue with his results.
No, definitely not. I 100% agree with you on that. Oh, mate, fucking yeah. It's like the gas went. That is everything I have to say on all of the NFL that we were trying to catch up on. What else do you have, my friend?
Myles Garrett has not set a record. He's got to a milestone, over 100 sacks.
That is a milestone for anyone.
Yeah. He's tied as the 4th fastest ever to reach 100 sacks.
Fucking hell, that is an achievement on its own. You have to say, anyone that can get 100 sacks is a milestone. It would be funnier if he had 100 sacks just on Aaron Rodgers.
I also wanted to, as it's sort of the end of the season pretty much, just go through a couple of the defense stats for the year so far, sort of thing.
Yeah, go for it.
Because, I mean, we always talk about offense. We occasionally touch a little bit on defense, but some of the players this season have done really well.
Yeah.
One of them I was going to mention is the interceptions numbers.
Yeah.
For the season. We've got top 5. We've got Kirby Joseph, Xavier McKinney, CJ Gardner-Johnson, Marlon Humphrey, and Brian Murphy. Have you looked at any of these numbers?
I am, as we speak, just loading it up. It's just being really slow.
If you look at the interception numbers, there's two that have clearly stood out, and that's Kirby Joseph and Xavier McKinney.
Yeah.
Kirby Joseph with 9, Xavier with 7. And then the next 3 are all tied with 6.
Xavier McKinney is fucking hell, sit still.
But
you look at Kirby Joseph, CJ Gardner-Johnson, and Marlon Humphrey. Then you have Jesse Bates.
I was going to say,
and a couple of others are the only people that intercepted for touchdowns after.
Yeah, there's only been 3 in the top 5 that have actually returned one.
Yeah.
And I think it doesn't get talked about much in the regular season and what have you. That's got to be hard, intercepting it and returning it for a touchdown.
Yeah, because you've got to know where that ball is going to be, and then you've got to make sure you've got an open field to carry that ball back the way you want it to go.
Yeah, and I watched CJ Gardner-Johnson's one. It was in our last game.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to run past a load of defenders to get to the end zone.
Yeah. I mean, flag football and NFL are two totally fucking different games, but it is hard when I'm trying to intercept anyone, and being a defensive player, I'm not the quickest at reacting sometimes. When you see that ball flying and you're trying to intercept it, I've caught it once, maybe twice, not in game, but in practice. You've got to make sure that you can get that ball and get it back to where you need it to be. It's a hard fucking feat. And when you got these guys, they're over 200 pounds fucking steaming down on you.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. Not a fucking chance.
No, it's insane. But another one I want to talk about was the tackle leaders for the season. Because those numbers are insane, the top 5 of that. You've got Zaire Franklin, 165 combined tackles. Buda Baker for 155. Jamie and Sherwood for 152. Zach Bourne 151. And Roquan Smith for 144. That's a lot of running around the field.
Yeah. I was just looking at their, that's their combined. When you look at their solo and their assists.
I was going to say, you look at the solos, and that's an insane number on its own.
Yeah, Buda Baker has got 81 solo, and
which he was another point I had to talk about, because he's just reached an agreement on a 3-year deal with the Cardinals. He's just been extended for another 3 years. 54 million with 30 mil guaranteed.
He's another fucking player that is just an absolute savage.
He's also, that puts him, the third largest contract for a safety in NFL history.
That's fucking mad, isn't it? Yeah,
but Zach Bourne is a steal for the Eagles this year. He was in the Saints. I think he came from the Saints. He played there for 4 years. Got virtually nothing. We signed him for 1 or 2 million for a year, and he's made top 5 tackles. He wasn't outside linebacker. I think they switched him to inside. But if you look at his stats, he's also got 3.5 sacks. And I know for a fact he's made at least 1 interception. I think 2.
That's fucking bad, isn't it?
I think he's getting a big contract extension this year, and I believe he's in top 5 of Pro Bowl votes for his position as well.
Nice. I did see something about the Pro Bowl, and I didn't write it down quick enough. And then after you said that, it just reminded me it was someone's just had like the most Pro Bowl votes ever, and it was someone that's fucking like, why? I can't remember who it was.
Well, I think the current leader of that is Travis Kelce.
May have been him. I was on TikTok earlier, and I put in breaking NFL news, and it was showing me fucking NFL news from 2022, 23, and I'm like, what? It was like Josh Jacobs has to report to the Raiders, and I'm like, wait, have I got to look up to see if he's been traded? I fucking hope he's not been traded.
Top 5 at the moment in public voting was Travis Kelce, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow, and Jared Goff.
May have been Jared Goff, I see. Yeah, I don't know. Right, that is it from me. How about you? What was that?
That was my Xbox. I mean, there's only one thing left to talk about, and that's how do you see this final week going?
I don't think.
I mean, the only real couple of teams with playoff implications, I think, are Bucks, Falcons, Broncos, Dolphins, and Bengals.
I don't see. I think the Bengals
Bucks have got the Saints. Bucks have got the Saints, and the Falcons have got the Panthers. I don't think either of those teams are going to really struggle.
No. Panthers, I hope to see next year in the playoffs. Bucks will make it, and I want to say the Falcons will as well.
Well, as long as the Saints don't put up too much of a fight, the Bucks are in the playoffs, the Falcons won't be, which just leaves the AFC. Dolphins have the Jets.
It's hit and miss with the Vikings. They can play up and down. And now that they're in the playoffs, I don't know whether they're going to put up that much of a fight.
I don't know if either team are going to play their starters for the Vikings or the Lions, to be honest. But at the same time, it's how bad do you want that 1 seed?
Yeah, you get a bye if you've got the 1 seed. So. Oh, it's hard to say.
But do you risk your starters?
Oh, I don't know. We'll have to suck it and see, mate. We'll have to just fucking wait and see.
I think that's going to be the game of the week.
Yeah, 100%. I'm definitely watching it.
I just think I will the day after. It's the Monday night game.
Yeah, I'll do the same. So
for us, it'll be 1:30 Monday night. So I'll be watching it Tuesday.
Yeah, same. I probably won't be watching it because I got work Monday.
Off we go. Packers have got the Bears. I think that's going to be an easy one.
Well, don't fucking say that. Our last game against the Bears was a tricky one where we stopped that field goal.
It should be an easy one.
Should be an easy one.
But yeah, as you say, don't hold your breath on it.
No.
Because at the end of the day, these teams that we're facing, the Bears and the Giants, they've got nothing to lose, so they're just going out to rip our heads off.
Exactly. Right. I'm done. The tip in an hour. We were trying to keep it below an hour, like we always say, and end up not. Right. I'm done. Are you done, my friend?
Yeah, I think it's just wait and see next week at how the playoff picture looks, and then
100%. We'll be picking up, getting back into it, and we'll be doing weekly videos as usual. And then into the playoffs, it's going to be tense, and then fucking Super Bowl, and we will do a Super Bowl video, and then we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's all from me, and we'll speak to you next week. Peace.
Take it easy.